Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to this new, now, present, and ever expanding moment. A moment in and outside of time. A moment where, for the first time on this channel, I have someone next to me, someone that's very close and dear to my heart, someone which we are meeting and co-weaving and co-creating with, through, and as in this most exquisite unified field, the unified heart field of creation, which all of us are entering into now. And as we are entering into and moving into the most centered essence, place and space within ourselves, we are meeting each other in physical form, inside and outside of time, and simultaneously in the formless, inside and outside of time, across all dimensional directions simultaneously. And I know that in this present moment, in the most expanded heart field of creation, there's a moment of boundless potential, boundless co-creation, and boundless co-weaving. The truth of what it means to be in co-creation, in real co-creation, in true co-creation, and the truth of that to be woven into this field in this moment. As each one of us and all of us together are always in co-creation with the source of all of creation, which is, as I just felt, entering into the awareness of each one of us and expanding through us, so that the sound, the frequencies, and the vibrations that is moving through us is in co-creation with the source of all of creation, flowing through us in sound, in presence, in vibration, and in frequencies, to become the sonic bodies of creation that we truly are. Because through our tone, through our voice, through our vibration, frequency, and our bodily expression, we are all in the process, through our unified connection with the source of all of creation, co-creating a new reality for humanity, a new reality for all societies, a new reality for communities to come together and co-create from the place of true co-creation, which is where each one of us are present in the knowing and the full gnosis of we are in co-creation with the source of all of creation. And having said that, it is my deepest, deepest honor to welcome Janine into this very, it feels like, important moment of true co-creation. I welcome you into my presence with love, with gratitude, and with grace. And I'm entering into your presence with love and gratitude and grace, with the full gnosis that all that needs to be expressed and be given expression to through you is exactly what needs to be heard by everyone that is attuning into and through and with this very exquisite and eloquent, is what I'm hearing, eloquent co-creation, where a soul is not only received, but also seen, heard, felt, and experienced in your most truest essence. I've had the honor and privilege to get to know you on that level. And I know that this moment is giving birth to something new, a sonic expression, a soul song, a symphony of sovereignty, that through your presence, words, vibrations, and frequencies is the very gift that you are here to give to those that are tuning into, to receive the very codes of their being. So thank you, thank you, thank you for being here with all my heart and with all that I am. I love you and I honor you and I welcome you. And if there's anything in this moment that wants to flow out of you, for those that is tuning into the very expression of your being, to share with them what the toning of your soul song is in this moment.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It is a true honor to be here with you and to be welcomed into the space. I immediately felt like I can take a deep breath and I can just let go and surrender. And it's an honor and a privilege to know you and to be able to co-weave and co-create with you in such a beautiful way. That was like the most beautiful introduction of a space that I ever heard. So beautiful.
Wow, just receiving that with the knowing that everybody that is listening to this is receiving that very same message, that you are reflecting to them as the very beauty and welcoming into the bigger soulscape of the cosmos, this most eloquent field of creation where we are all connected through our hearts and we are all here to sing the symphony, the very symphony of creation through our individual tone when we come into resonance with the tone of our soul. And what a blessing for everyone just to have received your opening tone. I felt that moving throughout the whole cosmos and echoing through, weaving your expanded presence into being as a very loving pulse that is pulsing through the cosmos. And the words that you're giving expression to, you know, pulsing out throughout the whole cosmos, weaving through the very fiber of our one body, our one unified heart field of creation, where we all are attuning into through tuning and coming in attunement to our own soul's resonance, so that that very symphony that we are all here to connect to and sing together through and as can come into being. And it feels like there's a moment when you connected to that place and space in your beingness that has brought some awareness to you, perhaps not full awareness, but the awareness that there's a connection to the greater cosmic symphony of creation. And I would love for you to share whatever are going to flow through, so that those that are tuning into become familiar with what that might look like for another human being, so that they can know when something like that occurs within them, that there's a tuning that is starting for them too.
There's like a wonderful question to be asked. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for that. Oh, well, to look at life as the symphony or the orchestra that it is, not necessarily only in terms of music and musical expression, but also in terms of perfect aligned timing with the most simple example I could give at the moment, looking outside the window and seeing something beautiful. The light of the sun passing through the leaves of a tree and the bird crossing that picture. That is a symphony. Walking outside, meeting somebody, just exchanging a view and a smile. That is a symphony. It is written in the field of the cosmos, and it's unfolding in the most beautiful, most perfect way it could ever unfold. So, for all the beautiful souls and beings who are listening in all spaces, throughout all time and all space, if you find yourself in these moments, you can remember the symphony of the cosmos.
I love that. That brings me to, since this morning, knowing that we are going to be together in this moment. Since this morning, I've been seeing this. So it's very much on a limited dimensional perspective, yet the symbol for the greater unlimited gnosis of that. I saw a sheet music.
Beautiful.
Then I saw the lines of the notes with the difference where if you go to a music store now and you look at sheet music, the lines all go horizontally. Wow. The difference is this morning when I saw this this sheet music in front of me, I saw all the lines being vertical and how all the tones is moving through, and each one of us with a very unique tone that is moving through all of creation, throughout the whole cosmos. And as you just so eloquently expressed, how every bird that is flowing through is flowing through that tone of others. And each one of those flights, whether a bird or an animal or a person, a potential moment of remembrance and reconnection with the original sound and song and the collective symphony as a whole. Yeah.
So beautiful. Wow.
Anything that comes when you hear the words, lines and song lines that want to move through?
Well, as as a composer, it's interesting to look at the construct of sheet music as like the translation of what you hear in your beingness translated onto a paper in 2 dimensions. It's very yeah, like you said, it's a limited way to
Mm.
look at things, but yet everything is there. I had, in the course of my musical journey, as I would say, there were moments when I felt like I have to catch this tune, I have to catch this melody, I have to write it down, I have to record it. And it's this endless flow, like you so beautifully expressed, and it has no place or space. It's just free. It's a dance, like the ocean is dancing. And you catch these glimpses of like music and songs and words and everything that could possibly be in the field. And yeah, then you have a tiny bit of, if you manage to translate it, you have a tiny bit of this endless expression of what a song or a melody can become.
Mm. I love
Okay.
hearing the word, you have an endless expression. Immediately I'm hearing the eternity, the eternal flow of consciousness through the field of creation, in co-creation of the source of all of creation,
Mm.
and attuning to that.
Yes, truly something. Music is so beautiful, but it's as beautiful as a human and human expression, because a human can also be anything that it wants to be in in this limited way also.
Yes, exactly. Because when I saw that, I saw the limitation of the hand, yet simultaneously, I saw all the strands of light throughout the whole cosmos. And then perhaps, what do we see? What do we hear? Do we see this, or do we see the whole, all the light strands in the cosmos simultaneously? And what do we hear? The one sound that this brings, or the echoing
Mm.
that goes throughout the whole cosmos?
So beautiful.
As you hear that, what comes into your field?
Mm. When you were, yeah, just expressing that, I saw it was like when you weave um with how is it called, with a strain of like weaving clothes, you know, you have wool or something,
Cloth
and
of
there,
cloth,
what
cloth, a cloth
cloth?
of some sort, and the cloth can be wool or any
Yes, exactly.
any strand of
Yeah,
material. Yeah.
and I saw that, like, saw the weaving of this particular space that we call the earth plane, um, and like a weaving around that, and like strength woven in woven into this yeah, this wool space that we call the earth plane, in the form of musical expression. Can be anything like art and or a poem or something else. And I saw these people like just catching these strength and weaving them into the fabric
Yeah.
of of the earth plane and the fabric of this reality. It was very beautiful.
Yeah, and as we do so, what comes to mind is that as the light is moving in and through, and being woven through the earth plane, the grounding of that can then come through our physical expression as the weaving of our clothes that we are wearing, as an extension of the very soul song and the beauty that that is woven through that, not only by those that are physically making it, but becoming the cloth expression of what is moving through us in this moment, because I'm simultaneously seeing those that has created this and your shirt, yet I'm simultaneously seeing how else, because we haven't woven it, they have.
Yes, they
And then
did.
our souls is weaving something new through this fabric as it is attuning to us, and therefore become an extension of our message in a grounded form.
Beautiful. I love that so much. Oh.
And perhaps to share with us or give us a glimpse into how your attuning or weaving has started for you, that has brought you into this moment as it continues to weave and breathe through you.
Mm. I'm just gonna feel.
Mm.
Mm. Mm. Well, I definitely like knew what I was going into or weaving my being into. One can say that. Um, there's always like just ah, a deep, deep knowing and deep connection to, yeah, Sophia. But I didn't know that it was Sophia
Mm.
or the field. Um, so through everything, all the happenings that were happening in my life, what we call a life, um, I don't know. I just knew things would change. I just knew it's that everything is gonna pass.
Mm.
And I always had a sense for like I'm I don't know if glimpses into the future is the right word, but what I would say now is I had a feeling for potential frequencies and levels. Um, and sometimes it felt like I'm just sitting out time, you know?
Waiting for the potential to enter.
Exactly.
I'm watching the birds weaving.
Are they there? Oh, there are a lot of birds outside too.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
translating that perhaps into, so as you started to speak, what I was seeing is in our human walk
Mm.
that has brought us into this moment, how there's weaving and then unweaving again.
Wow.
So weaving, coming from the cosmic fabric into physical form, so woven into form, and then walking through physical experiences to come into harmonic resonance with our soul's essence over a period. But every step was the unweaving of that which wasn't in resonance. Then, just unweave and then weave back, unweave and weave back, weave the new into, unweave the old, you know, much like when what's coming to me, my mother does a lot of needlework, and she
Beautiful.
with wool and with other materials. And I remember as a small girl, and I was just here, just taking it. I said, "What are you? You've created all of that. What are you doing?" She said, "No, I need to unweave it again because there was something that was missed. You know,
Wow.
either one of the things she had to go through was missed, but she could intuitively see that it was not creating that which she had in mind to weave." And that
Wow.
so that just came into awareness as a very, you know, felt experience for those watching, that in our physical reality, there's this constant weaving and reweaving, you know, and it feels like it's a gnosis we all have, and then the unweaving of that which is not in resonance, so that we can fully step in full harmonious presence with all that we are. So probably symbolically also how each body of our being that is not aligned in a, you know, to give expression to that tone is also unwoven in the etheric field. So how that physical almost becomes this mirror for the etheric, and how that the two is in this eloquent dance as well. Yeah.
You just, I love the choice of your words and what you just expressed. I felt it deeply within my being.
And
What
what I'm hearing is perhaps to share how these two has unwoven and being rewoven into the truth of your harmonic resonance that you are, you know, starting to sound into the cosmos.
is beautiful because I immediately, I was like, how my human mind was like, how are we doing this when we all are doing it, you know? We are all doing it. But what what pops in first is the heart connection. And this is also the point where you started from, introducing the space. So it seems like there is some kind of, yeah, I'm gonna call it like original rhythm now,
Mm.
that is kind of, I'm gonna call it compass. So there was always this little girl in me that was like, no matter what happens, no matter what happens, I'm just gonna follow my heart. And there were times where I really consciously, with my mind and intellect, walked into situations that might not have been my heart's choice. But yeah, weaving through that, experiencing, yeah, all kinds of frequencies and things that felt all kinds of ways I could imagine, and yeah, always coming to these points where this feels this feels aligned, this feels good, this does not feel aligned, this feels not good. Oh, but yeah, eventually everything, yeah, it was this one, I'm just this one, like, I don't know what to call it. mm, I'm just gonna follow my heart.
Yeah, yeah. And what I'm hearing is the heart of the little girl and the heart of the grown woman has synced.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
singing together in co-creation.
This is what it feels like. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Thank you.
wow. So maybe to give expression to those that is hearing, there's not alignment, there's not coherence, there's this feeling that something is not, aligned, which you just beautifully expressed. What would you, we wouldn't know what others ever need, but there might be something in your sharing that will reflect or spark or, allow them to remember places that some unweaving is still needed. And how that showed up for you, because what I'm hearing is there was a clear knowing that has developed when it feels good and when it doesn't.
Mm,
Just maybe to give
beautiful.
some expression to that.
Thank you so much. Mm. So, the first thing that comes to mind is, or to heart, whatever you want to call it.
I'm here. What comes to heart?
Yes, right.
With yourself.
I love that expression. um, is in my like personal journey, I was very much confronted with extremes, but they had to be extremes so that I could pendle in some kind of balance point. I definitely just realized that I really chose extremes. So
Your soul, do you want this or this? No, this, so that I
yes,
know exactly how far the outness is to bring into alignment again. I'm seeing this pendulum swift, that thing that you get when you tune a piano. Boom,
yes.
boom, and this extreme, so that I know where the center,
Oh, this is,
pulse is.
oh my God. I love this like imagery around it. This vision is so, it feels like it's just vibrating. Oh goodness. So yeah, it was experiencing extremes, pendling from one side to the other side, um, getting a feeling for what is my balance point, where is my center. And I guess that's where time comes in, because I'm just realizing that, yeah, time allows for this to happen in a gentle way, like you just expressed it, in a gentle pulse. So it's not,
Yeah.
we can grow throughout years, we can grow throughout, yeah, this physical expression of our soul. But I'm still in a, well, because we are constantly like growing and evolving, it is still, I'm still in moments, and they can be so small, like with choosing to like eat something or experience something, where, yeah, it's, it just has gotten more subtle to make adjustments, or I can feel into more subtle things with the unfolding of going through all of these experiences and all of these extremes, coming to a point where I'm like, oh, I have now the awareness to, yeah, make subtle shifts, I can attune, yeah, on a more subtle level, fine tuning. That was like very different a few years ago. It really, yeah, was very, very different.
So how did you know there's an extreme
Mm,
and has brought you into, moving into the subtleness of
mm.
knowing that because what I'm hearing is our body can only um, attune to the subtleness gently over periods for it to
Beautiful.
stabilize in its presence and therefore sound, resonance and emanation. So maybe for those that is watching, that is because that's coming to me is what those extremes, how might that look like? And is that inside or outside of us? And inside and out or outside of time, maybe just to whatever comes when you hear that.
That is very, very beautiful, Sarat. Thank you so much for bringing this in. Ah, well, it the first thing that I felt is the situations that the body is going through, sensations. But when you experience what we call trauma in this realm, there's a point where there's some dissociation happening, or happen in my case. So for many years, I was not really anchored in my body. I was very, what felt for me, far away from my body. So experiencing these extremes, I experienced them for a longer period of time because I did not tune in, or wasn't capable of tuning in to the sensations that my body was feeling. So there was this delay of like, or I didn't want it to, I don't know. I think a lot of times I was just very mental. I was just telling myself, oh, it's not that bad. It's okay. It's not that bad. But if I would have tuned into my body in these moments or throughout these periods, I would have definitely, like, I don't know, could have, like, things could have been a little bit different.
How did you start to attune? Because what I'm hearing is you knew that you had to and you started to. So
Beautiful.
that those that is listening can know, okay, extreme might look like this or sound like this.
Mm.
Sound like is what I'm hearing. Sound like this. And when you started tuning, knowing, when and how, so that they practically know, okay, when this is heard, this is an extreme perhaps,
Mm-hmm.
start, making those smaller attunements. And what I'm also hearing is that doing so unweaving,
Oh, beautiful.
that is which is not harmonious. And the two of them have, so it's almost like weaving sound, unweaving the sounds, which is um taking us out of our body to return us back into our bodies through the attunement and the reweaving. But first, it happens simultaneously, the unweaving and reweaving, as it's coming closer into the body again. And I don't know why I see this pendulum. It shows the extremes of our field, our auric field, which is also our cosmic body.
Mm-hmm.
And then how the extremes takes us, as you said, has taken you out of your body. And then there was a knowing that there's some, unweaving and attuning that needs to start happening. And then perhaps to share, what was that first one that was so loud or so extreme? Not the example of what has happened, but the knowing in your body that you knew there's some attuning that needs to occur. And what I'm hearing is heart tuning.
Oh, it's beautiful. Ah, this is so beautiful, Sarat. No. Hmm. I'm just feeling into to weave this in from mm, there are these moments in life when you know this expression. I felt like my heart stopped
Mm.
because I was so shocked of what I just heard or saw, or people use these expressions. I felt my heart stopped. And with that, you feel time stopped. And this is the first thing that I felt. Yeah, there's these moments, or this particular moment when I felt my heart stopped.
Yeah. Knowing the recognition of that, because it feels like there's a lot of people that's going to listen to this that know exactly that moment when it feels like our hearts stopping. And it's what I'm hearing right now, that it shock, like they, and I don't know why I'm seeing this image, when they in a hospital want to bring the heart back to life through the shocking.
Yes.
It is to, bring back into, I don't know why that example just came to me, but it's literally heart stopping. And what I'm hearing is, in doing so, the natural rhythm is disturbed, or
Wow.
and therefore it goes to this most extreme place because it's not in rhythm, because it stopped, like it will for any other human being, all of us. I can recall moments that it felt like my heart stopped. So thank you for giving me that gift, because I'm seeing all these places and moments that it felt like my heart was stopping. But what happened in that moment is moving from our timeless nature and the beauty and the innocence of our essence to a time continuum where it felt like time was stopping, and doing so in our human expression makes us feel removed from our hearts,
Oh, yes.
out of our body, having an out of a body experience through the shock. And then there's probably a journey that you've started to, over time, when noticing the patterns for yourself, started to realize, ah, I'm catching myself. What do I now choose?
Oh, thank you so much for bringing this in, and for, yeah, putting this in perfect human words. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So what did you start seeing or noticing that you have done to bring those back into your heart? To what I'm seeing is bringing the string into attunement with your heart again.
So beautiful. So, with these, or this shock moment, and coming out of rhythm and out of balance, there was a time in the space-time continuum where feeling nothing was normal in that sense, because there was no, yeah, there was just no connection to the body. And to feel, it had to be an extreme, if whether it was joy or pain or sadness, to even feel something. So it had to be and extreme, and I created them, like consciously creating drama, very intentionally, to feel anything. But there was this inner guidance or inner knowing that this is like very exhausting to be in that state and to constantly recreate patterns that create situations that create that shock moment over and over and over and over and over again. Kind of, yeah, a loop. Very, very addictive loop to feel this particular pain that I felt when I felt my heart stopped, again and again and again and again and again. But in my human journey, I at some point felt like there are so many like colors and notes in between, and I am only moving through this but I don't know, I wanna hear the whispers. I want to hear the silent melodies, you know? What do I have to do to be able to navigate or swim through these overtones in between notes? How can I tune into them? And yeah, with the most, I don't know, important question for me was like, how can I heal this like core trauma that like, how is it possible? And with just asking these questions, answers were given. But was I always taking action? No. But that's when time comes in again. So it was a very gradual, slow process. And even if my human was like, oh my goodness, this is taking eons, I just realized that it was perfect, everything. And it still is still perfect. And I'm so, so grateful that I have the the honor and the privilege to express that within this field. I'm so, so grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
As I'm hearing overtone, I'm hearing oversoul. And the attuning of the chosen path of the oversoul in human expression to attune and weave into being the message, your song, your resonance to be known by all.
Wow. Yeah. That's so beautiful.
I see this coming into attunement, this extreme, looping, remembering that this very instrument that can show the very rhythmic extremes and coming into balance and coherence is something that's in physical form to show us. But
Wow.
there's the oversoul that knows that there's a different, there's more organic and natural rhythm of beingness that you've been guided to attune to, and perhaps to start sharing around, because I hear you often speak about time and, you know, outside of time. And what's also coming to me is that keeping time, keeping the rhythm of time, you know? And then how does that then link to our organic and natural rhythm that our soul is tuning back into through giving these extreme experiences to show the you know, the disharmony,
Mm.
to harmonize again, and perhaps to share how that is, you know, in your field, because I know there's a very strong pulse and harmonious present with your soul's essence, and perhaps just to share how that is experienced by you.
Thank you so much for this beautiful question. Hmm. Hmm. With allowing myself to feel into my body in yeah, bits and pieces, like what I could. I just see me like with the energetic bodies coming more in, more and more, and allowing myself to, yeah, become aware of what is my body feeling, what is present with my body, where do I feel there's something tense or discomfort, and being aware or recognizing moments where I could relax and let go. Very profound moments when I could really loosen everything. Like I'm sitting here and I'm talking to you, and I'm relaxed, you know, but there's still some part of me that I recognize during like talking to you, where I'm like tensing a bone, tensing a muscle, you know, and but you become aware, you become aware, and now with becoming aware of that, it's gone, you know. I relaxed it, but it's a constant process. And when I'm outside, I'm tensing it up again, and then I'm realizing again that I can relax it, and there's like no survival situation happening, and I don't have to run away or do anything. But it's yeah, constantly being present with what is there in the body. And it's so beautiful that you brought in time and the rhythm of time and marks in time, because I don't know how it feels for you. Maybe you feel like sharing at some point too, and for the souls that are listening. But if you would imagine coming into your body fully after experiencing any kind of trauma, if you would feel everything all at once, how overwhelming that would be. So feeling grateful for the dimension of time to be there and the ability to slowly tune into what we feel like is okay to tune into at this point in time. And I did, just to give an example, what helped me to come fully into my body for somebody that feels like, just feeling to reconnect to the body. I mean, there are so many ways, but for me, it was Qigong. And this was my commitment that I opened up to, or like, this was the moment when I was like, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do it for my body.
How did you know
And
it's that, and how that started? So that was an extreme moment, or there was something, or was it just there was and what I'm hearing is there was a gnosis. This is the thing.
exactly. um there was this affinity always towards like martial arts in a way. So, and I have like, this is in my family lineage, like we have like very talented martial artists in our family. And it well, it was this little girl of me, this little fighter was like, one day I'm gonna do kendo and like weave around my sword and just know these like crazy things, you know. um but yeah, I feel like my being knew that connecting with this subtle form of energy movement, because it's really so simple. Qigong is so simple. It's I'm just going to give an example for the ones that are maybe just hearing about it. Um, the translation of Qigong is like the ability of moving Qi through the body. And Qi is the translation of life force energy, which is like the field or the source of everything. And with these like very old movements and techniques that were like discovered like eons ago, when you open up, you tap into this field that is there, like you so beautifully expressed in the beginning, us coming into the field and being welcomed into the field. There's this field of Qigong that is containing everything, past, present, future, information, memory, and all of this. It's a beautiful field to tap into, and it's there for everyone. So it's really opening up to this deeper, I don't know what the word is, feeling on the most subtle levels. And with that, there was, something clicked. It just clicked within my being. And I was so, I'm still in awe with this practice because it is so simple. It is just, I mean, there are different forms and different movements, and it can be very complicated, but it can be so simple. Just as being present and moving your arms up and down, breathing in, breathing out, and feeling the energy that you are moving through. It's just that. And it's so beautiful.
I feel that. So do you get this feeling through your whole body, or how does that then, how do you connect to that through your practice?
For me, in my individual journey, it was gradually becoming aware of more and more subtle levels of the movement of energy. Let's say, um, let's say, in the beginning, I felt something, but I couldn't put a pin on it. Where is it happening? Where is it flowing? But I knew energy was flowing. And this was the most important thing, because energy gets stuck through, yeah, these experiences that we have when we feel like our heart stops. Chuck, there's this. And then it has to loosen up again, like your mother was weaving off that clothing that she was. There's this. It has to be unwoven again, and thanks to, I'm so grateful that I discovered that, because it helped me to become aware of a very deep physical layer, like, let's say, bone structure layer, where you would be like, but there's no movement in that. It's a bone, It's not even a muscle. It doesn't. It's a bone, but there's movement in there, and there's a reason why the chakra wheels are like aligned around our spine. So it was over time. Yeah, I'm doing this for 8 years now. It's almost 9 years, but it got deeper and deeper. It's so beautiful, really, really beautiful, because it really, if you open and allow this to flow with everything that is flowing, and be present with what is flowing through your body, it expands through to this awareness of the field that you were also mentioning in the beginning, and the flow of the energy within that. But there's still so much to discover. But that was my my entering point into a deeper level of, I don't know, awareness. I don't know if that's the word.
And what I'm hearing is reconnecting into your heart field. When we start connecting to this field that you are referring to, that for you through your practice started to connect you to knowing there is a field that exists that is throughout your whole body, is what I'm hearing, through
Yes.
muscles, through bones, and through everything else. And what a gift it feels like you've just given everyone. And the gift, it almost, when a gift is wrapped like this, there's so much inside that you don't know what you're going to receive. And then all of a sudden, people are now realizing that there is a etheric field woven throughout their whole bodies. Thank you so much for sharing that, for people to know that. It feels important. That's firstly. And then secondly, to know that when there's something that, because what I'm also hearing is when there's something that's tight in the body, that you can, through your conscious awareness and this practice, go to that place and start for the trapped energy to start flowing, the very trapped energy that has been trapped because of the shock of the extreme experience that was had. and then therefore somewhere in a bone or a muscle or somewhere, and then how for the physical, through this practice, for the physical to unweave the shock and the etherical to reweave you into your, you know, your soul's essence expression. And it feels to me like that's soul's embodiment also. And what a gift you are here to share with others, the awareness of that. And perhaps if you hear that, to share what comes up that you've noticed over your journey that has brought you to this, you know, this awareness of being stuck out of balance, out of harmony, in a loop, you know, out of coherence. And then the importance of that, because your soul has chosen this way of experience to give expression to this gift to others, you know, for them to know that there's practices that brings you back into alignment and harmony and reweaving you back into the very cosmic fabric of your being, you know, your soul's expression.
So rude. I'm just in love with these words and expressions that flow through you. Oh wow. Ah. With you mentioning that process of being woven back into my soul's expression, I saw this, yeah, really these threads being woven through the field that is forming my body. And just realizing at this moment in time why we might feel so small sometimes with, yeah, with this field being there and the oversoul like being there, but not being able to let it flow through in a way that it could flow through. Not saying that the ability is not there, but just yeah, it's just the opening up this ability to allow this flow in a very beautiful and gentle way, without without pushing the body, or body, mind, soul, the whole like construct on all levels. Qigong really helped me to be present with my body and allowing myself to take the time or move with time through themes. And it is so easy when we move through this field. I'm just referring to it as this like fast-paced society field that has been like created or has been woven together, and at some point we are all moving in there, moving out, moving in, moving out. It's so easy to lose this rhythm again, but when we really allow ourselves to feel and take a moment, if it's just 5 minutes a day, it's okay to feel into what is present within the body. And I was very committed. Like when I started the practice, I drew the movements, like every movement of every arm, because I really had to, I don't know, how to call this, but I really had to draw everything out. And because it was so far away, that I had to like understand everything, like from the postures to the energy flow. So I took the time and I drew every movement, and I repeated it every day, every day. And I noticed when there were days when I was, oh, I don't need to do it today, I'm feeling okay. But I always got to the point where I was like, this is enhancing my day on all levels. So why should I ever miss a day? So I'm doing it every day.
Yeah. And what I'm hearing is it's becoming a way of being.
It is.
And the
Yes.
practice is becoming the way of walking through this human expression as a Qigong master that you are, you know? To just move as one with all that you are. And with every movement, I'm going back to how you so exquisitely express the in the park, the bird flying by, and then there's a human coming in this whole field. So what I'm hearing is what I'm hearing from you is there's two fields, or perhaps more. Perhaps you can share with those that are attuning and hearing for the first time there is a field,
Mm.
and then hearing, oh, there's more than one. So perhaps to share what that is in your experience.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. From the most tiniest thing in this world, let's say a grain of sand, like it is written in this beautiful poem by William Blake, has a field of memory, a field that is containing the information of the ocean and the earth and everything. So when we look at the macro and we expand that onto, let's go into maximize that to a forest field. So we have this little grain of sand from the beach, and we have this forest that we can step into. One thing we can hold in our hands, one thing we can step into. And I'm using this forest example because I'm assuming that a lot of people already have walked through or been in a forest and felt the difference from, let's say, a city scenery. So there's a different flow of energy that is flowing within this field of memory. It's the same with the ocean, and it's also the same with a jungle. because it's a different field from a, let's say, German forest, but still it has its unique flow. And you have this in every human, a unique field of information and energy flow and memory. So one could say I'm seeing these in really like trying to explain my vision, pulsating fields that breathe. Like we are a pulsating field that is breathing, but just expanded onto an area that is called a forest. And moving into that, weaving your being into that breathing field, breathing with the field, breathing with the trees, and the animals and the plants that are there. Yeah, it's, yeah, I feel this is what I feel like sharing. I feel like I don't want to overload people.
So what I'm hearing is there's an organic field.
Mhm.
Human field is organic, the forest field is organic.
Mhm.
And what I've also heard, there's a city, and that feels inorganic to me. So if I just, look at those three fields we just, brought in here, and as you so eloquently expressed, if that is then so, it means that, like, it means there are trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of fields continuously pulsing and moving. And just to perhaps bring into awareness, there's a difference between an organic field like the forest and an inorganic field like a city. And is there, in your experience that you've moved through your journey, had a felt experience of the difference of the two, perhaps, and the impact of that on your physical body? And perhaps to include in that, how then, when there's a shock experience, how does that also come into this?
Beautiful question, Sarat. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. The experience of this inorganic field, I experience it like it immediately happens, like when I enter, let's say for example, a train in the morning and everyone is going to work. It's a different rhythm. It's a different rhythm and a different flow. And I am aware of that, just aware of that. Okay, this is a different rhythm, it's a different flow. It's okay. It's not bad or good, it's just the way it is. And let's say I'm going to have a coffee in a shop. I'm maybe in this field of the city, but at this point it's, yeah, the slow, it's like the overall field is present, and I feel also this city field moving, and everyone is like the bird is flying through the picture. They are like notes that have to be pressed or that expressing themselves in this field. But I can be aware in that, with it, and be aware of everything. But I can also let myself be absorbed in it. That means I can have moments when there's like, I don't know, just some kind of stress appearing in like a daily human work experience where I'm suddenly in that other rhythm and I'm like going home fast, not being there. Yeah, it's very, very subtle shifts, and it happens for me at least. Yeah, it happens. And sometimes I catch myself and sometimes I don't catch myself.
Yeah. And how do you know there's sometimes something to be caught because there's something that takes you out of the moment because of something that's in that field, perhaps?
Mm, beautiful question. It's mostly a feeling of discomfort, disharmony, a feeling of, yeah, what I know very well, feeling lost in a way.
Yeah. Up in the body.
Also in the body.
Oh,
It's it it's immediately like a whole tensing up of everything, and the first thing that happens is shortage of breath, really not breathing, really sometimes holding my breath.
I love that you're sharing that. It's such a practical, clear example for people to know that we are all in our individual field that we spoke about, the etheric field, in which there's a tightness of a muscle or, tightness in the bone. And whether it is through shock or just being in another field that is experiencing a shock. When you go, for example, into the train or into the coffee shop, that then creates this very tightness or holding breath, much like when there's a shock and the breath was held, taking us out of our harmonious own field, and then into this place of shock. But it's because it's felt in the body again, it's trapped there. And it's felt through contracting a muscle, tightness, or holding breath, which is also tightness of the lung. And then there's this awareness. And sometimes, as you say, also so beautifully, because I also find myself, walking, then all of a sudden there's a tightness. So what you're really supporting me and others with is to become aware when there's tightness in the body. And in that moment to stop when you remember, because sometimes there's tightness and we forget to, that it's there, just take it on because we need to go somewhere. But there is tightness nevertheless.
Exactly.
And then in that awareness, to know, to become aware, it's not that there's something, I often hear people say, what is wrong with me feeling this way? To remember that there's nothing wrong. It was entering a field that's inorganic, that has created a shock on your organic, beingness, and therefore created tightness. And then and immediately I'm thinking through the then becoming more and more and more consciously aware of being in your practice of allowing the flow of that energy again in that moment, so that we become this living embodiment and unweaving that field and reweaving back into your own, field in that moment.
Oh, this is so beautiful, Suraj. Thank you. You expressed that so beautifully. Wow.
And you have expressed it very practically. It's such a practical example of something I feel that people are walking around with. most of the time is with some form of tightness. And I
Mm.
think by creating and giving expression to your experience, it is supporting others to know that all that is required is to allow for flow again, you know,
Yes.
in the moment. So perhaps as a means of, because what I'm very aware of, there might be people that is listening that, have a tightness every now and then, and there might be others that's got a lot of tightnesses,
Mm.
in their physical body.
Yeah.
So is there a experience or path that you've walked that have made you aware to move to a place where it's more flow and
Mm.
less tightness?
That's a beautiful, beautiful question. Thank you so much. It is so interesting. The level, I don't know if level is the right word, but yeah, I might use it. Level of awareness of the body, because in my like individual journey, I come from like a family, or within my family lineage, there was, I'm just gonna give you that example of my grandma, because she is yeah, a very good example for what I wove my being into in the family field, as a field structure. So my grandma was constantly holding things, holding tension, holding themes, even with the jaw and everything. Like she was constantly, there was very few moments in a day when she was really relaxed. Like maybe during the day when she had her like midday nap, which was like something that her body was like forcing her to do because she didn't sleep in the night, because she was so tense all the time. So her body was like, the moment she's sitting in front of the TV in this chair, we're gonna just shut down and she's gonna sleep because she needs that reset. But yeah, so this is like the most extreme example that I can think of, and I functioned in the same way. I was born with that, inherited this intense. I do this to this day. I crush my teeth so hard at night that I even like broke this. There's this thing, protection thing that you put in at night, and I broke it. And my dentist was like, "What is happening?" So, just to give an example because sometimes people think that I'm so chill, but it's really a tuning thing, I have this still sometimes. I'm still like working on that, and it's a way of really unraveling this tension that was there in the family field with all the trauma that happened. It's still there. But I don't know. I'm aware with what is there. And for the people, to come back to what you have asked me, for the people, no matter at which state you are, even if it is like this extreme state of like tension all the way, like I was in, or my grandma was in, or my father, to this, ah, I'm just sitting in my chair and I feel there's tension in my leg or somewhere else. No matter where you are, the moment you open up to even this topic, like even you tuning into the field that Surette has like opened up and we are weaving together, you will become aware more and more of what is happening in your body, but it's gonna happen in a gentle way, because like I could, with all this tension being present when I started doing Qigong, I could not become aware of everything all at once. That was just impossible. So what I would suggest is to just, give yourself the time to gradually become aware of what your inner being is guiding you to become aware of first. Like, there is always a divine flow, and Surette said that so beautifully, allowing flow to flow through the body and through the being. So it's gonna come in bits and pieces, and it's gonna be gentle. And like me, it's a work in progress. It's just a work in progress.
I think for all of us, it is. And what I'm also wanting just to layer onto that is the knowing that the looser you are becoming, what I'm also seeing is then your whole family line is becoming looser.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and attuning that string or that line
Yeah.
back into, looseness and flow. And then also is that then how does that then come into coherence with your singing? How does this two come together for you?
Surette, you are so next level. I love these questions. Ah, that's so beautiful. Um, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's when I tapped into this theme of singing or expressing myself through sound and song, I became aware of, the human body as an instrument of some sort, like you already also expressed in a very, very beautiful way with us playing our notes or being played by the field. It's more being played in a way than like consciously, maybe both. So I had this, I knew that there was more that wanted to flow through me in this way, because it might be different for people. Maybe there is something more that wants to flow through in other ways, like in other ways of expression. Maybe it's also the sound and the singing. But for me, it was that, and I knew that I have I could allow a lot to flow through if I am present with my body, and I learn to let the flow through, just being with that flow and what feels like expressing through me. And in my like personal exploration with the human instrument, in particular with my body, this is a constant also training that I am invited to do, to, I don't know, once or thrice a week, to really tune my instrument in that way. I mean, Qigong is a way of tuning, but tuning with sound is also a way of tuning. And I learned a lot with my singing teacher, because I just took singing lessons, and she's amazing. She's an opera singer, and she taught me, or is teaching me still, yeah, kind of like a way to sing with all of me. But it's a process, like it was with Qigong.
You need to sing with all of me. Perhaps you share a bit about that.
Mm. Mm. We talked about, we had these visions of these threads and this field like flowing more and more through the physical field. Let's say this oversoul field being woven in. And you had this beautiful word of like soul embodiment. I don't know if that was correct, but yeah, allowing that fully to weave in and flow through with the energy that is flowing through the body. And I feel that in the evolution of my being in the physical form, I was kind of guided to really being able to feel into that flow, also bring in motion, like you also beautifully expressed what needs to be brought in motion, so the flow can be sustained, it can be constant in every moment and wherever I am. Also allowing myself to be human at some points of time, because that is okay. to come to a point where a lot of things happen when, for example, if you are a singer or somebody that expressing yourself in any way, can be dance or like even words, speaking in front of a crowd, to be able, and I'm not saying that I mastered that, but I'm on my way, to be able to be present with everything that is there, knowing that all the people that are there are somehow weaving into that, being aware and present with what is happening in your body, and regulating the nervous system at the same time, and allowing flow without controlling it. It's like, yeah, it's a training period or training phase that I'm like, I have embarked on. I have no idea where this is taking me, but I also feel like it's not only, if you're a singer, it's really helpful in every part, every area of, and for every human to like become aware of these shifts in a way, you know, if that makes sense.
And what I'm hearing also is that the very sound that your soul came here to give expression to, or through allowing the flow through the muscles and bones. Not only are you, letting, bringing that extreme moving out of body back into body, but fully occupying the body for all to flow through coherently. And through doing so, weaving our soul's expression and the highest expression of that in the most oversoul and overtones through the body, and through the practice of singing, so tuning the soul song, and through the practice of Qigong to allow for free movement of the flow. And there, for me, somewhere in the middle of both of those there's something.
Yeah.
So what do you experience there in the center of that? If you just come into this moment of what you just heard.
So, so beautiful. I feel in Qigong, I have had moments that were timeless in the most beautiful way, being able to dissolve my being into the field completely, but still being with what is there in the body, but being everything. In with music and expressing my soul song, I feel I have still some there's still some work to do to create a moment, in a way, a weave with the space of a place within that field, that in which my soul or the field feels like expressing and weaving into that. So I'm like, yeah, I have a feeling for what that could feel like, but yeah. Well, when I think about it, there are like very beautiful moments when, for example, I enter lately, I go into churches and I sing with the church, like with the resonance of the field of the church. So, yeah, these moments are also very beautiful. I don't know why I did not think about them as that. I had this, like, I don't know. It's, it's, yeah, I'm becoming aware more and more of what is happening and what is possible in a way, still being on the way.
And what I'm hearing is it's something about resonance. What is resonance for you? What does that even, for people that's hearing the word for the first time, resonance, what is that?
That's beautiful that you're asking that, because I ask myself that so many times. Really, and then I thought I understood it, but then I was like, no, I did not really get it on the deeper level, you know? Um,
Yet you just said you connect with the resonance in the church. So
yeah,
what happens there that that word came up? Perhaps that is something to explore.
yeah. Thank you so much for allowing me to express that. I'm I'm just expressing that from a feeling perspective,
Mm.
um, if that's okay. Uh, when, yeah, so when I enter a space and I'm there, just closing my eyes, feeling the space, um, feeling how the energy is flowing. I feel where there are like, I call them center spots now. Like, it's it's really beautiful to be able to also be welcomed into these spaces, because they welcome if you ask, to enter from that perspective into that. So I feel I feel the space, and I take my time to be with that feeling. And then there comes a moment when I allow the flow to flow through. right now I'm thinking, oh my goodness, is this church singing through me? You know what I mean?
Yes.
um, so it's just being that, being within that resonance field of the church to attune oneself
I
to
love
what this building of space feels like flowing through me.
listening.
So for me, that is like resonance. It's a space where the vibration, you are so woven in that it's vibrating at a so intense speed that you are like always, you are merged with that space, you know? And if you want to look at it from like singing perspective, when you are a singer and there are specific techniques and with working with the flow of your breath, you can flow, work with the resonance in your body. It can be here when you sing high notes, or here, or it can be in the body. But it's, I always see it as like very intense interconnectedness and vibration at a specific point. I hope this makes sense.
That you so give a description to the experience of what that feels like for you, because it is a embody experience, is what I'm hearing for you. And then there's this, so just want to bring a few strings together. So when there's a walking in the forest, there's a more organic and natural resonance with that, you know, feeling a flow. And when in a field in the city or coffee shop, there can be this disharmony perhaps, or, you know, disturbance where things are not vibrating at the same frequency as you just shared. And that creates, therefore, disharmony.
Yes.
But when you walk into the church, there's this harmony again, because there's resonance. So resonance is, you're connecting with that. You resonate with something. I love that. You resonate with the field, which means there's flow in the field that you experience through your body.
Beautiful.
And to perhaps, what I'm also now, what's coming up for me is, how does our individual field perhaps impact where we walk into, and whether we're walking in as tight or as in flow, you know? And then what's the impact of the field that we are moving into? For example, the coffee shop or the forest or the church, you know, or our home. And
So,
then what's the impact there of the weaving and the reweaving that's occurring?
this is so,
I
so, thank you so much, Sorel. Oh, wow. It is so beautiful because um, the possibility to tune to the original organic field and resonance of the world or the universe is always there. So, no matter if we are in very crowded cities, in the train where there's this like morning, yeah, this morning blues of people like having to get to work, or in coffee shops where people are like just getting a coffee quickly and then doing another thing again, or even working while doing something. And even if you're there within that space for a bit, there's always this possibility, not a necessity, but the possibility to come into resonance with this original field. Because I feel, yeah, even if these organic structures are there, they would not be there when it was not woven into that. So it is there. And the moment that we allow, like, it doesn't matter if it is in the coffee shop or in the church or in another beautiful place like your home. In the moment that we allow that flow, it's flowing into the whole space, into every corner, which is no corner. And it's touching also the people.
That first movement that you showed us, how when you move into a place, your home or coffee shop or forest, how then this organic field can move, is always there. The possibility is always there to come into connection with, stay in connection with. Know that the tightness that is there is just showing you out of that connection and come back and start weaving that. And what I'm hearing is it's your heart song, heart song singing that field into being, you know, and that the opportunity that's always there to choose which song we want to sing, you know, from the greater field of existence into our human expression. Do we do that through our hearts or from a tight place? And not that the tight place is not allowed. It's about remembering when the tightness is there, you're not in your heart field again. And how can the hearts of humanity start singing together, flowing together, you know, in a unified heart field of humanity, which is a field that's there for all of us to connect to and connect with and connect as, to give expression. And therefore, as a means of perhaps moving to closing this most exquisite exchange and gift of your being sharing, is it feels like it is something, two things. The one thing is, what did you come to remember about your soul song for being here? And then the second thing around, how can others perhaps attune themselves to that very song?
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Well, I always thought that I had to do something great, had to be somebody, do anything. I don't know. All the things that are written in the books in history or something else. But I really have come to a point where being in these moments, like in this moment with you right now, is like the most magical, beautiful experience that I could like dream of, you know? And moving through the world in this, through this field, knowing that I am singing by just being there and connecting and allowing the flow to flow. I feel that is, for me, having had all of these achiever spirits, like a very beautiful moment to land in. And I hope that everyone who's listening, I don't know, can kind of tap into or feel into their unique presence within this field, because it is so special and so unique, and it is so perfect. Even if we think that we are so imperfect, it is so perfect. And it's just all that I'm feeling is like being is all there is. And but also being stressed is okay, and being angry, but also these being aware of these paintings with the bird and the light and the leaves, all of it's like just beautiful the way it is. Thank you.
And what I'm also very aware of at the moment is if there's those that are listening and have been, a chord has been struck in them, and they feel like they would love to connect with you. Is there something that you have for others, whether, individually or, in any way, that they can connect to receive more of the gift of your being?
Thank you so much for giving this opportunity to connect further. Well, if you feel like checking out more of my more of the expression of my being within this space-time continuum, I would love to invite you to check out my YouTube channel, which is Janine Ninger 13. And I also have a website, which is janineninger.com. And whatever it is that is on your heart, you feel like, I don't know, sharing with me or talking about, I'm very open for exchange in every way. So whatever's guiding you to contact me for whatever reason, I would be excited to know what it is. So, yeah.
Love that. Thank you.
Thank you.
And there's something in me that don't want this to end, but there's also this knowing at some moment there's a closing that needs to occur. And all I can say is that when I attune to all that we've just shared and co-created with and through and as, is all that is resonating at the moment is just this most eloquent and exquisite expression of your heart, which is just pure love. And then through your beingness, and therefore emanation, and through your presence, and giving voice to that and giving expression to it, and also painting these pictures and sharing those examples, that's very practically, demonstrating of what that looks like, which I feel is very important, because it shows the most beautiful embodied experience that you've walked through. And it has been my deepest honor to receive all of who you are in your expression during this, moment together that we had. And I know that through doing so, there's this emanation that has been created for all to receive the gift of your being, and the expression of your being in all its emanations. Because what I'm hearing so clearly is there's this beautifully connectedness that you have with your cosmic expression and the overtunes of your oversoul and those of others, yet so practically giving demonstration of how that looks like in a physical body through the expression of love, through the sounds and the resonance of your being. Thank you for saying yes to being here. Thank you for so freely giving expression to what comes up in the moment and it not being, thought about, but to be fully present, so fully present in the moment, to give expression to that which is here, which is for me such a beautiful example of what embodied presence, look like in form, in the physical form, because you are so present, so attuned to yourself, and so simultaneously having the awareness that there's so much that can be shared, yet knowing that there's only so much to be shared in this moment because of the readiness of other hearts to receive only that which they need to receive, to not overwhelm, their bodily experience, because there's only so much that one can receive in any moment. So thank you is not even the word, the deepest gratitude for attuning to the guidance within, to know how much to share in any moment and how it all then weaves together for people to remember their soul song, know what soul song is, what soul's resonance is, and that fields exists, possibilities exist, and the body is not only the instrument to give expression, but also the instrument to tune to the field that we are all connected to and through, which is the cosmic heart field that is weaving the human heart field through each one of our expressions into being. And thank you for so authentically and truthfully giving expression to that as your felt experience. Thank you from the depths of my beingness. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for allowing and for guiding and listening in such a graceful way. Thank you for creating a space where I feel safe and held, and this, thank you to share what is with my heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you with all my heart for this invitation.
And what is flowing through now for everyone that is looking or listening to know that you've just been part of what true co-creation is. We each one of us individually stand in the fullness of our co-creator and expression thereof, and allowing a effortless dance and co-weaving to occur for that which needs to occur for those that are receiving, to know that true co-creation is indeed possible and is grounded here in a way that is practically understandable, something that is, you know, can be complicated to comprehend, yet so coherently and cohesively flowing through when we allow ourselves to be the instruments of that which needs to flow through, for those to receive which they tuned into this moment to receive. So thank you everybody for looking, listening, receiving, and most importantly for co-weaving the heart field of humanity even more stronger into the physical. It has been an honor. I love you dearly. I love you deeply, and I love you wholeheartedly. Until the next moment.